Hello, everybody. My name is George. I'm here for another public opinion. This time, I want to talk about Tom Crawford. The reason why is him and his wife, Sue, so Tom and Sue, lost their house last year because they listened to a bunch of people that could have gotten better advice from somewhere else, but didn't, but lost their house. Instead of getting a professional, getting someone like a mortgage specialist or financial specialist, or even get a lawyer or barrister, even if you had to pay a couple $1,000s, they would have done a better job. It would have been better, but he also caused him and his wife themselves the problem as well. It could have been avoided many times, but it didn't. Everything up to May 2nd of last year, 2015, when the actual court hearing of Judge Godsmark came out with his report and his judgment, and all the information was finally given, because a lot of people mainly agreed and believed Tom and Sue Crawford mostly than the others that were the bankers, the evil bankers. It's always the evil bankers. I don't like a lot of these bank companies. They do steal homes. It does happen. But in this situation, like one of the YouTubers, Doazic, or his name is Jeff, said on a radio show, this might be that 1% that the bankers were right and they were wrong. And I agree. And the reason why I looked at it differently is when I got the report, the judgment, it was a whole different situation, folks. People started shifting and saying, wait a minute, you didn't tell us about all these other things. How did that happen? Why didn't you tell me about this or that or whatever? I feel like I was being lied to or bamboozled. And they say, no, you must be a government agent. That's what they'll say. If they don't like you, you're a government agent. You're a troll. They would consider me as a troll because I'm not on their side. This is the document right here, folks. Bradford and Bingley versus Crawford judgment. This is the one you've probably seen on some of the YouTube videos. I was able to get it. And I read the whole thing several times. And I'm sorry, folks, they lied about a lot of things. First of all, let me just say this. Paragraph 22. Firstly, in 1988, Crawford took out an endowment mortgage with Bradford and Bingley, with the capital advance being £41,800. Paragraph 23. Secondly, it's become clear that the endowment policy taken out at the same time as the loan has been surrendered and elapsed, in either way no longer available. Thirdly, the following original mortgage loan of the $41,800 of the Crawfords took out a second loan in 1989. This was a £5,000 for the home improvements and was repayable on the more conventional capital repayment and interest base, meaning part capital, part interest. Or people here in the U.S. that don't understand capital, they mean principal. Here in the U.S. we say principal, and in Europe they say capital. It means the same thing. They just use two different words. There were thus two different types of mortgages accounts, although both were secured against three firm J's through the original mortgage deed. Paragraph 25. Fourthly, the Crawfords were in discussion with Bradford and Bingley about the lack of endowment policy in 1999. Paragraph 26. Fifthly, in 1999, Bradford and Bingley offered to move the Crawfords to the repayment mortgage, but the Crawfords refused. This is important because Mr. Crawford's case has been that Bradford and Bingley changed the mortgage to the repayment without his agreement. Today, the position has been clarified. It is clear that Bradford and Bingley offered to convert the mortgage to a repayment, and it is agreed that Mr. Crawford refused this. However, Bradford and Bingley did not unilaterally change the type of mortgage that the Crawfords had. I observed that many ways that the refusal by Mr. Crawford to take up the repayment mortgage has been the source of this problem. 27th paragraph. 60th. The Bradford and Bingley commenced possession proceedings of August 2012. The Crawfords were in Aries, not having made the mortgage payments for some at least 3 months. Paragraph 28. 7th. Or 7. I don't know why he wrote it down that way. Anyways, there was a complaint made by the Crawfords to the Ombudsman in April of 2013. The complaint was that there was a loss of endowment. The Crawfords complained that they had making payments into the endowment until 1999, and until the endowment was found, they should have treated as still making payments into the endowment. The Ombudsman rejected the complaints on 18th of July 2013, finding that Bradford and Bingley were not responsible for paying the policy target of the $41,800, a separate lump sum of $11,000, which appears to be related to the mortgage indemnity guarantee. All right, paragraph 29. Circle these essential facts. There are a number of factual disputes. Paragraph 30. Bradford and Bingley have information from Phoenix Group, successor to Royal Life, indicating that the records show that the endowment policy premium payments were received from the account of S.A. Crawford, Mrs. Crawford, up to including the 25th of June 1991. There was no record of any payments, therefore the policy was surrendered on the 22nd of July 1992 with a surrender payment of £178.75. There is a credit of the Crawfords mortgage account of £178.75 on the 23rd of July 1992. 31st. The Crawfords dispute that neither the wife ever surrendered the endowment policy. He thinks it was done by Bradford and Bingley without his knowledge. His information from Phoenix is that the policy was surrendered on the 10th of July 1992, not the 22nd of July. Paragraph 32. In 1999, there was no doubt that some contracts between Bradford and Bingley and that the Crawfords. Bradford and Bingley had a record of a telephone call into the branch on the 22nd January 1999 from Mr. or Mrs. Crawford expressing concerns that they still have a £41,800 loan on interest only, having surrendered the policy 4 years before having difficulty paying the mortgage, and that the account should have been amended to repayment. Mr. Crawford denies this telephone call. 33. Bradford and Bingley have also produced a document entitled The Customer's Needs Analysis. It is apparently signed by Mrs. Crawford on the 29th January 1999. The document contains a reference of the lack of arguments to payment of the mortgage and that the mortgage is to be rearranged into a repayment basis to make sure that the debt is guaranteed repaid. 34. Also on the 29th of January 1999, the letter was sent from Bradford and Bingley to Mr. and Mrs. Crawford, and it starts by referring to the telephone conversation about the account and continues. I cannot apologize, although that the account is currently on a part endowment, part capital, and repayment basis. I have checked through our records, but I am unable to find any instructions from you to change your account to a capital or repayment basis. The reference to the endowment is not helpful given to the endowment policy and has then gone. Reference to the part endowment, part capital repayment basis needs to view in the contents for the two accounts. The £41,800 home loan originally supported by the endowment policy and the £5,000 loan on the standard repayment basis. 35. The letter contains offer recalculated balance of the account as though it has been converted to a capital repayment from 1st of January 1995. Some interest was credited to the account and then offered made to place the unpaid capital in an interest-free account. The Crawfords were then asked their decision to offer on this offer via prepaid envelope provided. As a gesture, a goodwill, a gift was sent. 36. Mr. Crawford remembers the letter well and remembers the flowers that came in as a gift. Indeed, Mr. Crawford placed the reliance upon the letter. Why would Bradford and Bingley be apologizing sending flowers unless they have done something wrong? However, in this point of Mr. Crawford is equally firm about he did not accept the offer in that letter, so it converted the repayment mortgage. He did not see why should, and at the point both sides are agreed. The Crawford's home loan mortgage remained interest only and was never converted to repayment. 37. Over the years, the following are the number of records of calls of Bradley and Bingley by Mr. and Mrs. Crawford. There are no reference to the failure to convert mortgage to repayments and complaints about that. Mr. Crawford denies that he ever said that and he had to agree to change the mortgage. 38. In 2006, Aries accumulated on the mortgage accounts and possession proceedings were started against the Crawfords. Again, the issue arose that the basis of the mortgage with the letter of Bradford and Bingley dated 25th April 2006, repeating that the Crawfords have never given written authority to change the mortgage to a repayment. On the 28th of April 2006, there was a Bradford and Bingley record of the telephone calls from the Crawfords saying that the endowment has been cashed in by Bradford and Bingley. That the first records of such allegations in 2006, the possession proceedings were halted when the Aries were paid off. 39. I should make it clear that Mr. Crawford does not accept the record proceedings by Bradford and Bingley. he believes, that they have been fabricated. For that reason, I am not coming to any factual conclusions, saved where facts are agreed. 40. Among the records produced by Bradford and Bingley are the annual statements accounts which show a history of this mortgage. In fact, for both the original £41,800 loan and the £5,000, I'm guessing £5,000 loan, that's what they mean. Mr. Crawford also has some old statements from 1988 and part of 1992 and 93. He notes that on his statement, account numbers were given as 268A space 796852G. On the Bradford and Bingley statement, account number was 013//7968524. The numbers are similar but not the same. However, the entries of the two sets of accounts match exactly. This was something on a parting shot from Mr. Crawford at the end of the hearing, which he said his support contentions that the statements of the accounts are, to say at least, a suspect. I am not too prepared to go further than far. Prepared to go that far. Oh, not prepared to go that far. I'm sorry, I said it wrong. I know from the other cases that the mortgage account numbers do not sometimes change with the mergers of lenders and record-keeping systems. In addition, the numbers are not completely different. The basis of one can be seen in another. 41. On the basis of the statement account produced, one can see that there have been good years and bad years for the Crawfords in terms of repayment history. 2005 seems to have been that bad year, with only just over 6 months of payments made. There were no payments in January, February, March of 2006, and that led to the 2006 possession proceedings. There was a substantial payment in May of 2006, which halted the possession claim. 42. The statement of the accounts to be significant in that Bradford and Bingley conceded that from time to time there has been capitalization of Aries. 6 such capitalization are listed for the main account, last being December 2006. On the £5,000 loan, there were 3 capitalizations, that the last being the December of 1996. 43. I draw no conclusion as the actuaries of the statements of the account preceded by Bradford and Bingley, but I refer them above, as I also noted, as concessions of capitalization of Aries. 44. Capitalization of Aries does not increase the debt, but the capitalization Aries, they cease to be Aries. The significance is twofold. Firstly, the Aries have to be capitalized, cannot be part of the mortgage processing claim based on the Aries. They have ceased to be Aries. Secondly, the fact that capitalization is replied upon the Crawfords and is unconsiderably conducted by Bradford and Bingley, which operates as a clog in the equality of reputation. I will return to that. It would be agreed to the fact that there has been capitalization. Okay, so I'm just going to go as far as there. I just wanted to talk about the history details of the mortgage. This that you just saw, that I just went over, I talked about, there were things that before May 2nd that the Crawfords didn't mention. They didn't talk about it was an endowment interest-only mortgage, which basically means you're paying the mortgage for, let's say, 25 years that they were doing. They will only pay interest only, nothing into the capital. At the end of the 25 years, they will still owe the $41,800. That's where the endowment comes in. An endowment is through a different party, through a different bank, let's say, which was Royal Bank, that they would do a life insurance policy, which they would pay into, which will fluctuate. It could go up or down, which they make payments just like the mortgage every month, and it would gain in money. They put in $100. There's investments that increase because of percentages, and then becomes $130. Just to give you an example. So basically, they will have more money than the 41,800 pounds. They could have made 100 grand, maybe 150. I've heard they said they would have made 3 times more than the amount that they would have gotten if they did make payments like they said. And at the end of the mortgage, they use that, and it's paid, done. That's all basically what would happen. They were saying otherwise. They were saying, no, it was part interest, part capital, which was bullshit. They lied about that. They lied about the endowment, which was stopped. Payments were stopped in 92 by Mrs. Crawford. So they lied about that. They knew about that. They lied about 99, where the bank said, hey, you're just doing an interest only. We found out from the other guys for the endowment, you guys stopped the endowment. Maybe we should change it to a part interest, part capital. They said no. Then they lied about the 2006 eviction. There was one before the 2014, so they lied about that. It's funny how they didn't mention that. They didn't mention a lot of things, and this came into the crux of how it was going. That's why you see a lot of people not believing them, and it's because of this, folks. It's because of this. And you have people like Danny Bamping that tried to help. Actually, do I have... No, it's not there. Where is it? Is it this one? Nope, it's not that one. Sorry, wrong one. Yeah, here it is. Okay, this was from one of the YouTubers. He had the letter that was sent to Tom. And right here, I just want to read what it says here, these 2 paragraphs. Dear Tom, I'm writing this letter to you directly to hope that it may be pursuant to you to think carefully about getting down a different route to save your house. Although I do believe the property at this stage, this may be too little or too little late to have a significant impact in actual saving your property. And then it goes and says, a year ago during one of my many frequent conversations I had with Guy Taylor, he mentioned about you and your case. He told me about you, brief summary. I suggested him that you create a video and put it down your situation, blah blah blah. All right, where am I? Sorry about that. I had a phone call. So anyways, so as you can see here in this letter, Danny Bamping was trying to help the Crawfords, saying, hey, look, these guys are not going to help you. I recommend not continuing getting advice from them. Get advice from a lawyer, barrister, or litigator, or whoever is a lawyer out there to help you out, because you're going to lose your home. And he predicted right. And 2 months later, July 2nd, poof, got evicted. And they called him a shill, a government agent, everything under the sun. And I felt bad for the guy. All right. I'm not the only person that talked about that. There were others out there that talked about it. But here are, just some of the comments in here were just unbelievable. Let's see, there was one in here. Some of the comments in here. I was just totally amazed. Just go to the video that I just showed you of this guy who did the reading of his letter. You can see some of the comments. Elizabeth Watson, another person that this long, paragraph that she wrote is unbelievable. She was another person to help lose Tom Crawford his home, but it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. And it just, I'm getting tired of it. Look at this. From Get Out of Debt Free. This is a notice for a private meeting of evictees, and this is this is Tom. This is his user name for the forums. Look at him talking about this and getting more people to listen to other idiots like him and others like Guy and Mark and Michael and the Mr. Ebert, and they don't know what they're talking about. There are some YouTube channels that I like. BK Videos. This is from Bradley Knight. This is one of his YouTube channels. Law and Us is one of the other ones that he talked about. And he did talk about the Crawfords. He talked about even Craig Crawford. I don't know what Craig Crawford has a beef with Bradley. And he was talking about it here. So it was weird. It really was. All right. Sorry again. Apologize for the second time. Another call. This time I turned it off. I'm not going to let people disturb me anymore. I turned off the ringer. Anyway, so it's a good website. He talks about a lot about law. He's very good in helping people, help them in situations like civil situations, or you might get in trouble and currently what kind of paperwork to file and stuff, and may learn how to talk in the courts or something like that. He does really give good advice. He's very knowledgeable. He knows his stuff, and I do like him. And he talked about a lot of things, even about the whole Crawford crap, situation here. Right here, Bradley, where is it? Here, Bradley Knight talks about Tom Crawford's case. Bradley Knight, Danny Bamping on Tom Crawford. Bradley Knight explains position Ebert. This one right here, Ebert, where he was talking to Ebert over the phone, a phone conversation. I thought that was interesting. He was helping Ebert with the Tom Crawford case. And it wasn't until after May 2nd, I think it was May 2nd of last year, that's when he changed his mind. So, but BK Videos and Laws and Us, those are the two channels he has. There's Norman Wisdom. This guy, he did about 5 videos about the Crawfords and also about Mark Ceylon, Guy Taylor as well, and all this other stuff. And Keck and Crack or whatever, the ones that Mark and the other bald-headed guy, they made fun of this guy in his channel, and he made a response, and he did a really good job in a response. But I thought this is another interesting channel. He hasn't done some videos in a while, but I hope he does, you know. So Norman, you know, if you're listening, please make some more videos. Another guy, Doazic, this guy talks a lot about people's failures or ripoffs, or you know things that they say is nonsense. Like Carl Lentz, he's been talking about Carl Lentz for a good amount of time, and he even went to England talking to the get out of debt free guys and beat the bailiffs guys, and I don't know why he is, but oh my god. But Doazic, his real name is Jeff Stevens, and he did a pretty good job talking about the Crawford situation. He talked about it by this video. Tom Crawford lies about the court case. That was his first one, and then he goes over talking about other stuff. Tom Crawford lies, the proof, and then are Ceylon and his cronies on crack. This is where Mark says this bald-headed guy says, Ellie Collins, are you lit? God, I can't stand him. And then Mark says, she's on crack. She must be on crack. And then all of a sudden, Tom Crawford appears, and he's saying, yeah, we won. I think they're all crack. And right here, the judgment explaining, where you have Guy and Tom talking about what happened, explaining about the judgment. They were trying real hard to convince people about what happened. And when you read this article, the judgment hearing itself, that Judge Godsmark QC wrote, there's no way these guys could sit there and say otherwise. It means completely different, Talks about Mark here, about what happened July 2nd. He has some good videos that happened on that day. Also talks about Peter of England. This guy is a piece of crap. Rip off his own fantasy money. Don't do shit with him. You got Derp JD, John Downing is his real name. I think he's misleaded. I like him, but there's some things that he does say crazy stuff about the whole bailiff crap, kind of similar to Chrissy Morrissey, but I'm not going to get into that. Michael Deary. This video shows his wife spitting at a cop. That's the reason why they arrested her. And he's sitting there complaining, nothing happened, she didn't do anything. Right. Copyright infringement that was done by Mark. Just unbelievable stuff. Oh, and also, just to let you know, Bradley Knight, he called Mark Ceylon and told him that I'll sue you for slander, and you got to take that off the forum or video or whatever it was. I thought that was interesting, but anyways. But he did talk a good amount about the Crawfords. And then, one last thing. He was on Mike West's radio show, Bastion Radio, and got a chance to talk to him about the Crawford situation. So if you go about 2 hours and 30 seconds into it, that's where into the program, that's where he talks to Jeff, and you get to see Mike West here. He was dodging like the response, like every time that Jeff told him something, fact, information. Oh, I don't know. I have to check it with my information. That's your interpretation. That's your opinion. It was like one or two times he was kind of agreeing, and all the other times he just like he's brainwashed, stuck on the Crawfords. He's had Tom Crawford on the show. He's had Mark Ceylon and Guy Taylor on his show. That UK column, those idiots doing the same thing as he is. Anyways, it's just ridiculous stuff. But this is really a good channel. Doazic is another one I recommend. Let's see, what else? Then there is Tom Crawford. His channel, and there is a video, this one here, Crawford Family Stalker Found. There is this video. This is his video, Crawford on the Land. His name is Yam Cross. You could see his video and then see Tom Crawford. He doesn't start until when he approached Tom Crawford, when he was showing his video, like maybe 30 seconds later. But you see them both, and Tom is just crazy. You can see him right here. Tom's trying to videotape the whole conversation. His wife Sue is trying to do the same thing, and he's just saying crazy stuff. I'm going to leave the link on this video. You can watch it on your own. But God, him and his whole family is all nutty. Anyways, and he's going to probably try to do a copyright infringement or try to sue me for slander. Good luck. It's not going to happen. Then there's Sir Laken C. This is something that Mark handles, as well as the other guy, the bald-headed guy. Mark has his own also, Mark Ceylon. And if you go to these channels, you'll see all this scamming and stuff. There's the Cack and Max show that these two guys do. And they used Tom to advertise their stuff. That's what they've been doing. And now they have Tom helping out, talking to people. They even have John here doing it, which I thought was weird. There was a video of Tom, just sad, just hear him. He was trying to reclaim his home in March 28th. What was he thinking? But anyways, coming up next week, Saturday, July 2nd, the 1-year anniversary. I wonder what the hell they're going to do. Are they going to try to reclaim the house again? Which they can't because it's been sold. Someone else has the deed to the house. I did check that out. I wish I screenshotted it. I didn't. But someone else owns it. Tom doesn't own it anymore. But I would be surprised if he tried to. Or the neighbors. I guarantee the neighbors don't care less about him anymore. They think he's more of a nuisance than something good anymore. I mean, it's just I don't know. I really don't know, folks, anymore. The only reason why I'm talking is about these people. The good ones are fine, Bradley Knight and Doazic and Norman and all these guys. These people are okay. I'm talking about the Tom Crawford, Guy Taylor, and Mark Ceylon, and I mean, this organization, get out of free. getoutofdebtfree.com. There are at least 8 people here. I wrote down names that their homes were evicted. Cleveland Rohan, Russ McGarry, Guy Taylor, Michael Grant Sinclair, Cromlech, Paul Jane Campbell, Glynis Craig, and Tom Crawford. Some names you probably recognize: Guy Taylor, Michael Grant Sinclair, Tom Crawford, right there. Those are probably some that you really probably know off the hand right now. But there's so many more, and they're hurting people, and this needs to stop. These people need to stop. They think it's government's taking over. I remember Mark Sinclair. He did Mark Ceylon. He did a video where he was talking about a year ago about benefits and being taken away, which is unemployment for us Americans who don't know what it is, and other services taken away, and they're going to control it, and it's going to happen by the end of this year. This was last year, around June or July, around now. Didn't happen. This guy makes up stuff. He has a video of him talking about devices that cure cancer and AIDS. It cures the common cold. I'm just ranting right now because I can't stand these guys. As you can see, I'm not spitting out names, insulting them. All I'm saying is these are people that do not deserve a forum, a public, people to hear, because all they do is damage people. They cause problems. Now, some stuff I kind of agree about. The TV license. Why the hell they have TV license if we don't have it here? It's stupid. They should get rid of it. The BBC does not need the money because of the TV license. The gas warrant thing. Why the hell the gas company, British Gas, doing that? It makes no sense. They need to stop that too. All these other crazy things I can understand, but the evictions, like I said before, if it gets to that point where you're evicted, it's because you didn't do your job trying to negotiate. All right? So remember, Tom Crawford had 3 opportunities to avoid this. He had the opportunity in 2003 to work out a deal with Bradley and Binks. Didn't happen. He had an opportunity in 1999 to convert to a part and part. Didn't do that. He had an opportunity in 88 to not do a endowment interest only. I know why they did that. They thought with the endowment they'll get more money out of it, which he could have. But it varies. It depends on the markets. Sometimes he could get just the money he needs, or more. It could be less. You don't know. It's safer to do the part and part, but they didn't. He's just as much blamed, but I also blame these other people. Stop talking to these people, folks. It's not worth it. You go to this forum, the Q-Loose, they think this is a sad, pathetic forum. And these, where are they? These two talked about this site. But I looked at it, I see a lot of people talking fair game. They're very honest. They give information that is factual. They're better than some of the others out there. There's nothing wrong with them. If I do see something I don't like, okay, fine. I don't read it. I don't like it, but I'm not going to stop reading it. You should see some of the forums. The forums on these guys. It's crazy. Look at this. Banks, credit cards, dealing with debt collectors, payday loans, credit repairs, mortgage finance, students, loans in general, copyright trademark, beat the bailiffs, court and solicitors, and so on, promissory notes. This is another ripoff. And so on, parking tickets and things. They want you to figure out a way to not pay what's owed. That's basically what they're doing. Okay? If you own and it's legit, do it. Pay it. Be honest. All right? If you're in financial troubles, there are ways to help out. There are other people out there that could help you, but not with these. Do your research. I did. This is how I came to the conclusion why I'm pissed. I don't want people down there in England getting affected because they lost their house. So that's all I have to say. It's how long? 45 minutes. I've been babbling that long. Okay, so I got to take it easy right now. It's been 45 minutes I've been talking. So if you have any questions, comments, or anything else out there, let me know. Put it, the comments down below. I want to know what you think. If there's anybody else out there that knows about these people, that has information on some of the stuff they've been doing, fraud, lies, people who've gotten evicted, that they got evicted. I want to know. I want to put out a list of every person that they lost their home, their car, their stuff, because these guys are failure. They're posting their failures, but not enough online. I need to know because I want these people exposed. All right? I don't like them. I know there are other people who don't like them. There are people out there, other groups, other organizations. There are professionals that could help you. I know it's tough, but there are options. And I just want to say about the Britex, England leaving the EU. That's your country. That's your decision. I don't have an opinion about that because it's not me. I'm not a Brit. I'm not from England. It's not my country. England spoke, and it was done democratically, and that's how they felt. And we'll see what happens. So I'm just keeping it neutral on that. That's all I have to say. But other than that, that's all. Take care. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. Let people know about this channel. I'm going to start doing more and more stuff out there. I'm going to do more and more of these videos. I'm doing more and more research. I'm going to do what I can to let people know about this. Wherever I can. Blog sites, websites, radio shows, you name it. I'm going to try to do what I can. I wish I got a chance to go on Mike West's show and get a chance to talk to him and be honest. I'm very fair, very honest. I can get pushy if I'm being pushed, and I will push back. But I'm not like some others. All right? Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope it's a pleasant day, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Peace out.